to be the head teacher here at Pok Fu Lam. It's my 7th year in terms of tenure of headship. Formerly, I have worked in Vietnam in different leadership roles, in London, and headship in Hampshire. And a very happy 7 years I've had here today. So for this afternoon, over the next hour, I will show you around the campus and hopefully signpost some of the activity, explain some of the things that are happening, and hopefully you're going to see a really vibrant, exciting learning community where all individuals, from adults right to our youngest students, are engaged and focused on learning. The aim then is to give you a sense of philosophy, some signposting around curriculum and what our offer is as a British international school. So we're offering a British style education, an academic education, and that's offered for the English speaking community in Hong Kong. Our strapline is a love of learning and confidence for life, and that really is there to steer and drive everything we do in terms of delivery of curriculum. What I do want to point out are some really important aims, some of the signposts, some of the clear sort of structures, the pillars of how we build the ethos and the climate of the school. So somebody coming to Kellett needs to be committed to these aims. A commitment to providing challenge. And challenge can look different to different people. It isn't necessarily what our own perception of challenge is. It may well be things that a student finds difficult in organisation, in terms of making friendships, in terms of transition. It is what the student defines, and it's important that we are able to identify that. Offering opportunity through a really exciting curriculum. Learning happening not just in the classrooms, but in and around the campus, in and around Hong Kong, and when we can fly and visit other schools internationally. It's also about entrusting responsibility, giving the trust, giving the direction to our students to be able to be great advocates for learning, to be good citizens, to be ethical. And in order to be able to do that, they need to be able to take on responsibility. So the school offers a wide range of different leadership opportunities and roles and responsibilities across the school. And students respond to that admirably. In return, this is the offer that Kellett is going to offer to you. We expect a bit of an ABCD, okay, we haven't got our alphabet quite correct there, but in terms of connection with that challenge, it is about ensuring that our students and our community achieve excellence. And again, that is defined by what the challenge is. Academically, that's a given. We have the best resources, the best teachers, the most focused parents with aspirations for their children to succeed well. We must make sure that we are able to achieve that, and also help in terms of other elements in terms of excellence, whether that's within sport, within music, within expressive arts, or even in just their own social, personal goals. Building transferable skills, absolute key point. It directs in terms of metacognition, learning to learn, and we have a Kellett Learner Profile which helps distribute all of these commitments, but particularly transferable skills. Students being able to manage difficult situations, being able to be interactive, having intrapersonal and interpersonal skills, being able to know what to do when they get stuck and not just languish in a reservoir of doubt and uncertainty. It's about the skills they need to be resilient, to be a team player, leadership, etc. And they are lifelong skills. It's also the importance of cultivating well-being. We have a well-being program, directing, we call it positive education. That stemmed from some work we did many years ago with Geelong Grammar School, but now it's taken its own course, and we're looking at being able to offer a wide range of opportunities for children to really be reflective, to know themselves, know others, not to wrap them in cotton wool, but sometimes some tough love, as well as being able to help direct some of those really celebratory and exciting moments in their lives. So positive ed, really important factor within the school, and that's developing all the time. And of course, the final one there, developing a global outlook. Many of our students who join the school, literally historically, hit the runway, hit the tarmac at the airport running, ready for transition into classes, and making sure that in terms of an overview of the world, they have an international mindset. So really important that our curriculum and our offer reflects that. I point those out to you because I think they are really important aspects of what we represent. And it's not just there as wallpaper. This is something that we refer to in all of our policy, in all of our procedures, in all of our guidance. So hopefully as we walk around the school, you'll be able to see elements of these strands emerging and being sort of celebrated within the classrooms. Now the school is full of lots of stairwells. They're all coloured, different colour combinations, a little bit like the London Underground. We're going to go down the yellow staircase into the playground and start to move on. So we're going to go down to the playground, and I'm just going to orientate you with the building. We've been on this campus since 1983. The school started on the Peak in an apartment, classic international story beginning. Then I found establishments in Wanchai, and in 1983 this building was established. By the way, we've got a game session in progress at the moment. Students are learning skills around tennis, and we have coaches here supporting with our teachers as well. But I'm just going to bring you round to the back. Afternoon. And what I'm going to do is just let you have a view from the playground. So 1983 is when we began, and in the campus we've got two sort of wings. We've got Ocean Wing, which is pointing out towards Aberdeen and Aberdeen Harbour. That houses years 1, 2 and 3. And on the other side, as the school was growing exponentially, we have the Mountain Wing, which was built in 2011. And we have years 5 and 6, an auditorium and some of our offices. So the school, as I say, began in 1983. We're a through-trained school from students beginning at the reception age, 4 years old, all the way through to year 13 in our sixth form, often referred to as a dragon school. And we are offering a pathway, prep from national curriculum and teaching beyond the national curriculum, to a GCSE, IGCSE and A-level pathway. And our students really are remarkable in some of the highest level results worldwide. And the majority, almost 100% of our students, then move on to universities of their first choice. Really exciting, the diet here giving them those opportunities. So now I'm going to take you in building. We're going to have a look at some of the classrooms, some of the environments, some of the learning areas. We offer, by the way, games and PE sporting approach with extra learning activities, our extended learning program, main sports in terms of for competition and development, basketball, netball, soccer, rugby and also athletics. But PE also offers opportunities to explore games such as tennis and swimming. We are now going to go into the Ocean Wing, and I'm going to take you to, in a moment, the early years foundation stage. But before I do that, just want to give you a little bit of an overview of the school day. We start with a soft start at 8 o'clock, going through to 8:30 official start, finishing at 3:15, where then after 3:15 our extra extended learning programs take place. The curriculum, as I said, is national curriculum from years 1 to 6. For reception, that's the early years foundation stage. That's a foundation stage preparing students for the national curriculum. We have 3 classes per year group with 23 children in each class, so 69 per year group. A teacher with a teaching assistant in every class. And we also have specialist teachers for art, music, modern foreign language, PE and sport, and also digital tech teachers, we're going to pop in to the art room with Charlie Gorringe, who is our art teacher. And we've got a... Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all? How are you all? I'm going to come over to Miss Gorringe and she can explain what this looks wonderful.
Screen print, aren't we?
Yes.
This is our new friend, so he's never screen printed before. So we are going to... Yeah, exactly. So we're going to screen print for the first time. Do you want to do it now? Go on then. Everyone knows squeegee hands. Do we know our squeegee hands? Show our new friend James how to squeegee. Ready? You can do it. Everyone's going to help you. Ready? Go on then. 3, 2, 1, pull.
Wonderful.
Wow, you can hear
that's
the
a very nice
sound.
feeling.
Very nice sound. One more
I'm
time.
looking forward to seeing some of the products, some of the outcomes of their...
They're going to be amazing. Yeah, we've been
Super.
thinking all about our elements of art, lots of texture.
So looking at form, looking at composition, looking at texture, and the lesson will always start with all lessons with a WALT. What am I learning today? So if we look on the board, it says on the interactive whiteboard to create a composition using shapes so the students know exactly what the focus is, and they're going to screen print with a hand-cut stencil. So lots of layering in terms of that process. Really exciting session. Children love their art, and display and the presentation of art around school is very, very important. So I'm now going to take you to the early years foundation stage, and I'm going to introduce you to my deputy head teacher, Anna Karachan.
Hello and welcome to Kellett Early Years. It's lovely to see you all here. Our Early Years Foundation stage, we use the Early Years curriculum, which is from the UK. And everything we do is led through play and activities. The activities are either adult-led or child-initiated. And if we take you into our covered area, we'll be able to talk you through some of the areas that we explore with the children. Development, communication and language, the all-important speaking and listening. Then we also expressive arts and design, literacy, and
area, a place where students can have free flow. They can come from other classrooms, work in small groups to continue exploration of play. They're doing some work on double digits, which will be work that will be happening teacher-led in the classroom use, in which we've got a literacy area where children are developing mark making, graphics, that's the formation of letters, and then building words. We've got a... This involves children making sense of their immediate environment, their community, and the world around them. And we develop those through half-termly themes. And in a moment we're actually going to have to think about their topic. Their theme is around the world at the moment. All the classes in their topic work have focus on sort of joined up learning, which has the humanities and science and elements of global citizenship that make the connections within their learning. So we have a theme. So for reception at the moment it is around the world. And they're reading a whole range of books connected with that, from India, elephant eyes, China. I think we're doing something on the Queen's hat in a moment, and Handa's Surprise, a book based in Kenya. You might be familiar with it. So that's knowledge and understanding of the world. We've got a question area. We've got a role play area. So this is an airport, and it's busy. We might be on takeoff at any moment now. We actually yesterday had immigration and we had a scanning device and a booking of tickets device. But this changes as the learning evolves. So I think we have a captain here, we've got a passenger here, and we're ready for takeoff, just waiting for the pilot to get ready. And really wonderful that in the international airport they can fly to one destinations around the world. We've also got the expressive art area, and students you can see enjoying water play and some sand play, really developing their fine motor skills, communication skills, most importantly, their language skills. So this is the covered area because it can be in place anywhere. That's a activities and learning that support Mrs. Carrot about. Hello, hello. So here we have a teacher-led activity, and they are writing. We have an approach to writing, certainly in terms of the phonics approach, which helps children identify and recognize letters. Phonics program is a synthetic approach. Basically means about being able to segment, pull apart words into sounds, and then to blend them back again to be able to spell words. A really rigorous program that runs throughout the week. That's differentiated, so different levels across the classes. And then they apply those writing skills, those spelling skills, to written work. Of course, they need to think about structure, organisation, and choice of vocabulary. But it's also very important that they have purpose. Who is the audience for their writing? So the theme is around the world. They have been reading books about English-based author, in this case, Letters to the Queen, based on the Queen's Hat book. Hi there.
Hello, Mr. Dixon.
How are we doing there? This is Mrs. Hulbert. She's the phase leader for the Early Years Foundation stage.
Hi.
And your students are doing some wonderful work.
They're having a go at doing some gorgeous writing. We're actually going to send it to the Queen in a great big envelope with everybody else's little bits of information about themselves. So we're going to write the letter, and then they're all going to send their information about themselves or Hong Kong or our school to the Queen.
Wonderful.
So they're using their sounds, and we're trying to use finger spaces, some of us, and we're going to do gorgeous drawings to go with it.
Wonderful. Would anybody here want to read their writing out to Mr. Dixon?
Here, would you read what you've written?
I am 5 years old.
Good girl. Good reading. I'm 5 years old. Could you do the next sentence for me?
Good girl, go on.
Can you read it for me?
I am
Is it named? I am.
named Tia.
Good girl, Thea. That is really beautiful writing. Good spaces. I could hear you sounding out the words. Who's this here?
The Queen.
That's the Queen. And what's going to happen to your letter? Are you sending it to the Queen? Well, I hope that she gets a visit over here. We'll be very excited to have a visit from Her Majesty. Good reading. Good girl. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Hulbert. We're going to move on there. So this is a writing session, teacher-led in the Early Years Foundation stage. Going to have a quick dip into a math session. I think we'll have a little look into Mrs. Hewson's class. So we're still in reception classes. Hello, Mrs. Hewson. Hello. Oh, hi there, girls and boys. So we've got a session based on doubling digits today. So they're using their ladybirds to be able to identify the first number. Hi there. And then they will record their operation, their calculation on the whiteboard there. So you can see that first calculation, 4 and 4 is equal to 8. Harry's on double six.
Harry, you're going to have to get 6 little spots, and then you're going to have to get your scissors very safely, and we're going to do 6 and 6 and find out what double 6 is, aren't we?
Super work. I'm going to leave you to work that one out. Good luck with the doubling. Thank you. Bye-bye. So, before you know it, before you can blink, they are through reception and ready for year 1, which is going into the national curriculum. National curriculum out outcomes for our students is a given, and we often teach well beyond the outcomes of the national curriculum. And there's more structure in terms of you'll see in the classrooms going from research. So for year one, finished a topic based on transport in and around. They actually went on a trip on the tram, then on the Star Ferry, and it really gave them immediate experience which they can apply to their learning. They've just changed topic now. They're actually working on amazing animals, and we actually had a group called Jurassic Park who came into school and actually brought the animals to the students. Really gives them, an immediate experience, immediate sensory experience as they walk through there. So we've got in year one now a math session. I'm not going to go in, I'm just going to comment from here. You can see children are using something called Dean's rods. That gives them a concrete apparatus to be able to set up their learning, to be able to, in this case they're looking at place value, and they're using the tens and the units to be able to make representations of those numbers, and then be able to look at the number values, which they can then record on their whiteboards, and then they can record in their books. So that's year one as a math session. That will be differentiated. The teacher will be looking at the outcomes from her assessment of where children are. That may require children working up to 50, up to 100. It might be for some children to 10 to 20. We have a guided reading activity here, where children are opportunity to look at books, read books, share books, talk about books. But the teacher here, Mrs. Matthews, will be working directly with students to look at decoding skills, being able to pull out facts, maybe to make some inference from the language, to be able to make suggestions about what might be happening or predictions about what is going to happen. That's part of the timetable and part of the English delivery. Here is Anna Goodwin. She's a phase leader for year 1 and 2. When I say phase leader, that means that she's a middle leader for years 1 and 2 classes. So for her year 1, of which we've got 70 children, year 2, 70 children. The learning this afternoon is based on Cock-a-Doodle Moo, and it's about hybrid animals. And the students at the moment are on what we call a scaffolding stage. The teacher has been modelling learning. Called a descriptive language, and then the students can apply those skills after it's been demonstrated and modelled to their own learning. And they're working very busily in their class, so I'm not going to interrupt too much whilst they're in flow. There's some really beautiful writing there on your snores. So we're going to carry on. So we are now going to go up to year 3 corridor. To the year 2 corridor. Remember when I showed you outside, we were in the ocean wing. And this is the classroom environment is the same for years 1, 2 and 3. We're going to pop into Mrs. Hill's class. This is in year 2, so this is 6 and 7 year olds. And they're doing some work. Topic there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dixon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Cheers. See. Wonderful. So Benji, could you tell me what you're doing in terms of your learning this afternoon?
Well, what we're doing is, so we're making a
flip book.
Yeah, we're making a beach habitat flip book, and we're gonna be doing like stuff for our in the beach, and then we're gonna do facts that live there.
So you're trying to extract, you're trying to identify some facts, and you've got some words down here that might be relevant to beach. Is that right? We can see cliffs, caves, sand dunes, rocky shores, beach, rock pool, seaside community, and the ocean. And of course we're in the ocean wing, aren't we? All right, we're focused on cliffs, which I can see and some discussion around the board, but it looks like poor old Amelia Page should be careful, not get too close to. Don't get close to the edge there, Amelia. Thank you, everybody. So similarly, we've got a session here in Year 2 with Mr. Kendall. Again, if you'll notice, we're using the interactive whiteboards, and as we go through now to Year 3, students are using technology to help support their learning. We've got iPads, we've got laptops available for students, reception Year 1 and Year 2. As we go to Years 3, 4, 5 and 6, every student has their own one-to-one device, which is there to really enhance, support their learning across 4 aspects of the technology curriculum. Obviously, computer programming and being able to look at computer science, looking at the application of digital apps to support all across the curriculum, importance of actually networking into IT, the networking and how the internet works, and also, of course, most importantly, cyber safety, and actually having an safety approach to making sure that children can self-regulate and monitor and be monitored to make sure that they are safe whilst working online. Display a really important part of what we do in schools. Again, not just here to be bright and breezy, that's good, it does lighten everybody's mood when we see exciting work, but it has a function. It has a function in terms of assessment, it has a function in terms of reference for children, it can be resources for children, language. All of these areas here are pictures of students who have been working on stop animation, putting some films together, and actually if you go onto the QR codes you would then be able to actually see the film they've produced. So really exciting, really innovative, and a really important part of our curriculum is providing opportunities for children to be innovative, to be critical thinkers, to be problem solvers, and using a wide range of resources. And of course technology is an important part of that. So we're now going to go up to the stairwell, the black staircase. Actually, I beg your pardon, we're not. We're going to go divert to the IT. We're on the 3rd floor. I beg your pardon. So I'm just going to take you now to the gym. We'll come back here in a minute. But again, gymnasium is one of 2 significant sort of spaces we use. We've got a PE session here happening for Year 2. We've got a coach there, Mr. Konku, who is leading that. We'll also do assemblies in this area and also some of our hospitality events. So that's our gymnasium. I'm going to bring you up this way to the 3rd floor of the Ocean Wing. And now we're moving from Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2, or old school infants to juniors, but its technical name is Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2. We're going to pop up the stairs to Year 3. And Year 3 are working on changing planet as their topic. They've just completed some work around running rivers, which entailed a field trip to Sai Kung, where they actually observed and studied at the river locally. So Year 3, as I said, from Year 3 to 6, there's iPads available, which children have as their own personal device. There's the option to take those home as well. Particularly useful at this point in time when we may or may not have to go into home learning. Of course, we know we have to do that over the next few days. We've got an English session today.
Alice, can you remind us what our new book is? The Great K-Pop.
So it's a great K-pop tree there. Good afternoon by Lynn Cherry.
Good afternoon.
Could you just quickly explain? I would be very naughty to interrupt for a moment there. Jess Reynolds, Year 3 teacher, and...
Hello, I'm also the English leader over at Pok Fu Lam, and this is my class, 3L, where today, do you want to say hello, you 3L? And today, just as the kids were saying, we're looking at the great K-pop tree, aren't we? And who wants to maybe tell Mr. Dixon where we are in our journey for the great K-pop tree? We're quite early on, aren't we? But who would like to give Mr. Dixon a quick sentence about where we're up to? Devin?
We're on a setting description about like the scenes of the great K-pop tree.
Ah, excellent. And we created, what did we do yesterday? Who wants to tell Mr. Dixon what we did yesterday? Amelia?
we created our own picture of the setting of the jungle.
Absolutely, and we've got a few up here just behind us of their initial pieces. And today we're going to explore a little bit more of our text and learn a bit more about the author. And we've just looked at also some synonyms for said, haven't we, for our grammar starter. So we're getting nice and warmed up for this afternoon for our English.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. That's very, very helpful. Thank you for giving some insight into the learning today. And have a good afternoon. Work hard, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you. So that's the Year 3 classes again, just talking about the importance of display. Here's an example of students working on a book around Do You Believe? Really important that we're able to showcase, share work, celebrate work, but also students can read that work and look at some of the craftsmanship that's gone into constructing the purpose of the writing, the content, the word choices, the descriptive nature, the structure, the organisation, as well as the spelling and also have aspirations to write in that style, or magpie ideas, steal ideas from each other. That's okay, they're encouraged to do that. We're now going to go to the IT technology. This is a room where students and teachers can work together using some of the MacBooks or some of the iPads. We've got a Year 6 class in here today. They're planning an informative text based on World War II evacuees, and they're doing a little bit of work around preparation and planning for a presentation. And they're going to use... Can I just interrupt for a minute, folks? What app are you using this afternoon?
We're using slides, and we're making a survival guide about World War II for children at the time.
And what things are you hoping to be able to share as you go through the study with this?
We're going to tell them about how evacuation happened and about farming and how women took on a lot of men's jobs.
Super, excellent. And you've got your Walt there, which is about organising and planning an informative text. And you're working in groups at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, and we're all editing on the same doc.
Super. I'm going to let you get on with that. Thank you very much for that explanation. So this is our Year 6 students just using the technology room to be able to confer, work also with our technicians if they're available. I mentioned at the start of this tour that as part of our specialist provision, we have a technical digital teacher who is able to support across the school, take discrete lessons or buddy up and team teach with class teachers, and also a wonderful team of technicians who are at the ready to support children at the point of learning. So that's the technology room. We're going to come through to Year 4 now. Here's some more lovely artwork from Charlie Gorringe doing some still life of fruit. Year 3 produced those based and inspired by the artist Wayne Theobald. So here we've got a math session. We're just going to have a quick peek in here. I'm not going to dwell for too long. For Year 4, they're working on arrays, looking at sharing, looking at division, and Antonia Stubbs is our team leader, our maths leader for that subject area. So I'm going to just have a quick view through there. Again, you can see the use of iPads to help support that concrete learning. And it's really important that actually students continue to have opportunities to use resources to have concrete learning to help them explain, be able to demonstrate, be able to deconstruct their learning, particularly when they've made a mistake or they made an error, and also then to be able to record it symbolically as well. So that's for the Year 4s. We're now going to go up to the other play space. This is our Rooftop Playground. I've got some people to introduce in a moment. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. But I'm now going to show you two facilities briefly that we use across the school. The first one is our science room, our science laboratory, I beg your pardon. As you can see, you've got a hint that we're going to the science area with some of our prompts for some of the work that has been taking place. Whilst the Year 6 students get ready for the science room, I can hear something rather exciting in the adjacent room. This is the Rutherford Room. We've got Year 3 who are doing a dragon dance. Come on in, have a look at this. Hey! So this is in preparation for the Chinese New Year celebrations. We'll let the students continue with their practice for that. I didn't mention about our modern foreign language approach. We offer Mandarin as our modern foreign language. It's really important to be clear that right at the start I shared the fact that this curriculum is a requirement that children can access the curriculum at the appropriate level of English required. This is not a bilingual school. The level of sort of English language is at a very high quality, very high level. Modern foreign language does offer the opportunity for children, of course, to be able to speak and read and recognize the modified Chinese characters. And children really do enjoy their Mandarin sessions. We have those 3 times a week for Key Stage 2, that's the children in years 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 3 45-minute lessons. And for reception, going to year 2, they have half-hour sessions with our Mandarin team. So that's about the spoken language, and obviously speaking and listening, recognition of characters and writing and reading of characters, but also the cultural aspects. So really important the students here having an opportunity to get ready for Chinese New Year. Our year 6s now in the science lab, and they're doing some work on soluble materials, I believe. So the science room has a technician. Students are able to and really enjoy coming up here to be able to use the resources and the equipment. A technician can help with that, and anything can be observed in here, from students who are dissecting hearts and pigs' eyes, to making plastic, to, in this case, setting up investigations to see how they will separate materials and look at soluble and insoluble materials. So that's our science lab. What is really important is that all stakeholders in the school have opportunities to share views. We look at a very strong partnership with our parents. Of course, we are the ones that drive the curriculum, deliver the curriculum and assess the curriculum, but it's important we have really strong partnerships with our parents to be involved. Very supportive community. All of our events, and there are many of them, are incredibly well supported by our parents, from the shows, the performances, parents' evenings, etc. But it's also important that those that are the recipients of the learning, and sometimes, by the way, they're the teachers of the learning, that is the students, have an opportunity to contribute, share their views, and we call that Pupil Voice. So I've just asked a couple of our student leaders to come and talk to me this afternoon. And we're on the Rooftop Playground. By the way, the squares that you can see are for 4 square ball. Highly competitive. It's a mix between table tennis, tennis, squash, and they love a high level of skill involved. Student council worked very hard to counsel and lobby me to get funds, and you wouldn't believe how expensive just getting some lines are on a court. But it's my pleasure to introduce some of our representatives who are part of that voice and representation of students, and I'm going to ask them about what their roles are very briefly. And we've got, where's Rika? Hi Rika, you're Rika Chib, you're in year 3, aren't you? Rika, yes, Rika, sorry, I beg your pardon, mispronounced your name. Tell us, what is the role, because we have a student council. Talk to us about that.
So you have a class, there's 2 different types of meeting when you be a school council. There's a class council meeting and there's a school council meeting. The class council meeting is where what you discuss in the school council meeting to tell your class, so they can give you ideas. And then on the next school council meeting, you can tell them the ideas, and then you find out what you're going to tell your class in the class council meeting. And I tried 2 years to be school council. I didn't get it. I was very disappointed. But when I got it this year, I was really happy because I always wanted to be a leader.
Well, Rika, your moment has come now, and you should be very proud that you've been voted in. And I'm sure it's going to be a challenging job, but a really, really satisfying job. So well done, and thank you very much for giving us that account today. I'm also going to speak to Hamir. Hamir is going to talk to, he's part of the student council as well, and he's going to talk about some of the role they have in terms of fundraising. So Hamir, would you like to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. So we've done actually some fundraising this year with the Key Stage 1 Christmas productions. We've raised approximately 32,000 Hong Kong dollars for St. James's settlement. And we're also planning to do a lot more fundraising throughout the year. And an example is Crazy Hair Day.
That's right, Crazy Hair Day, where everybody gets a chance to put some strange colours on their hair, let it flow, rearrange it, and have a bit of fun with that. And we've also, part of the Student Council, support sort of charities in 3 different areas. Local charities that Amir talked about, St. James Settlement being one of them, but also international charities as well, UNESCO, and also in terms of Plastic Earth, Free Ocean. And we also have a trigger that if there's a natural disaster, is the Student Council that might alert us to maybe a natural disaster that's happened across the world, where they want to release funds, but they go through a process in terms of discussion about why they want to support that fund effort. I've also got Darcy Bishop here, who is very proudly representing a badge here, a new development at Kellett for prep schools. It's been there at senior school already, is the house system. Talked about the house system, Darcy.
We all get house points for being good role models, positive attitude, and being kind to others. And after every week, we count up the house points, and the house with the most points wins. House captain has to have lots of leadership to help lead your house, and you have to be good at listening to other people and including other people.
Wonderful, and we've got a whole range of events that are going to be happening. Over the course of this term and next term, where we get some of the houses really engaged and ready. Names of the houses, Darcy, remind us, are?
Cobras, boars, which I'm in, eagles and dolphins.
So all representations of animals in and around Hong Kong, and we're very excited. Thank you very, very much for sparing some time and giving us a little bit insight into Student Council, student leadership and Pupil Voice. That was really helpful. Thank you, guys. I'm now, and just thinking it's reaching 2 o'clock, we've got about 10 minutes left of this tour. Just a few more facilities to share with you. We're now going to go to the auditorium, another multi-purpose space that we can use across the school. The Rutherford Room that I showed you earlier, where the dragon dance is also a really good multi-usage space for assembly practice, for some of our extended learning programs, whether that's dance, taekwondo, could be for debating society, it can be for Dragon's Den activities or The Apprentice. It's a great space to be able to use, also for drama. This is the Anne MacDonald Auditorium, named after a principal that retired 3 years ago, and is named in her honour. And we're going to go into the auditorium, which is a great space we've seen some amazing events, some memorable occasions that have happened in this space. And I think today we've got Year 4 rehearsing for their class assembly. I'm going to let them continue with their practice. All the classes will organise and perform a class assembly. Historically, people from families from all across the world, aunts and uncles will fly in to see those. Sadly, that's not an opportunity at the moment. But it's a really important aspect in terms of part of the opportunity for students to be able to stand up and speak and articulate and orate themselves and as a class to an audience. And that really is an important part, as well as the expressive arts program, of giving opportunities to students to be able to sort of conquer their fears. Not everybody is a confident presenter, not everybody feels confident speaking in front of a large crowd, but of course it's something in life that you're going to have to do. So it's great watching students develop and evolve their skills in oracy, in elocution, and being able to articulate really clearly what it is in terms of being able to share learning. The assemblies, the class assemblies, sometimes are really informative and a learning process for the adults, and it really demonstrates how much the students have consolidated and learned, deep learning, when they share that. And great when you see a moment when a student becomes the teacher and the teacher becomes the student. By the way, I love this. This is some work we've done with a visiting artist, Francesco Latti. It's a great celebration of being in Hong Kong. Children love to come up here and look at some of the elements of the island. We've got our Kellett dragon, Chi Li Long dragon. It's a fire dragon. It's our emblem, really important to us as a school, represents loyalty, hard work, endeavour, teamwork, and all the students are very aware that that is an important aspiration in terms of being a successful learner, a successful citizen. We've even got Kellett School snucked away there in the Wafu estate. I'm just going to take you down now to the library. By the way, that auditorium, as I said, is for some of our main events. We've had speakers come from across the world. I remember Dame Kelly Holmes delivering an assembly in the auditorium, 200 children under the age of 6, and she absolutely nailed an assembly for an hour of activity and discussion. We've had adventurers, Serenal Fines, we've had Olympians, we've had explorers come into school, and they're really exciting to be able to enhance the curriculum. I talked earlier about the national curriculum, the thematic approach, our topics, but also the importance of having field work and having opportunities to learn outside the classroom. So all of our students have opportunities to learn about Hong Kong. Every year group will have a topic that will reflect Hong Kong, and also learning beyond the classroom and the topic. They have opportunity to do camps. Year 3 go to Chung Chau, Year 4 go to Lantau. Historically, Year 5 did a 4-night trip to Beijing. Sadly, that's on hold at the moment, but a really dynamic, ambitious trip. And Year 6s do an outward bounds in Sai Kung. We're going to go to now library, and the library is timetabled for half-hour sessions for all the students to be able to come and enjoy the library. I often say, when your friends have let you down, which doesn't happen very often, but a book will never let you down. So a library is a real wonderful environment for students to be able to come and enjoy reading a book. So we've got Emily Wong here, who is just signing books out at the moment. Hi there, afternoon everybody. Have you all chosen a book? Yeah. Wonderful. Do you enjoy reading your books? Yeah. Good. Make sure you've got your bags full and rammed with books. And this library also has a study room next to it. I'll talk about that in a moment. But this, as I said, is timetabled. Students have half-hour session per week to come and choose a library book. They can also come at lunch times or at break times to come and share a book, talk to Emily Wong, talk about book discussion, talk about books they enjoy. It's also good to talk about books maybe they don't like. As long as they give a reason and have a good discussion about that, then that's okay. We also have a competition running with other schools at the end of the year called Battle of the Books, where 20 books are selected. Our teacher will then read the book. will hold the Battle of the book club in the morning, and then they'll discuss the book, promote the book, talk about what they like and they don't like. I recently just did this book here, the third from the right, A Wish in the Dark by Christina Sortenvat, and basically a book based on the analogy of Les Miserables, but based in Thailand. Really fabulous book. And we've got Miss Cotton here, who's got our year 3 students. Hi there.
Yes,
What are you doing this afternoon, Miss Cotton?
we have our library session this afternoon, and the children have been looking at illusion books, which Miss Wong has borrowed from herself. Each class has a library slot of about 30 minutes in Key Stage 1 and 45 minutes in Key Stage 2, and Miss Wong chooses some really lovely interactive ideas to make reading engaging and exciting.
Thank you, Miss Carton. Thank you very much. So there's the library area, and as I said, here's some of the books that Miss Carton was talking about that the librarian teacher, Miss Wong, has provided for the students. I talked about the study room, session happening in here for some of our students working with Miss Lindsay Callan, and she's working with students in terms of may have some support with aspects of their literacy, their phonics, their maths. All students get opportunity to be able to have differentiated intervention as and when it's required. And most students during their time at school will require that in some form, whether it's academic, emotionally, socially. It's important we've got those resources, those people to help. So sorry. Thank you. We're nearly coming to the end of the tour. Just a couple of other facilities to show you. I do want to say, and I hope in terms of we're walking around the school this afternoon, that the school is a very dynamic, exciting place. No day is the same. We set schedules and routines for students because they need that. But they also need intervention and disruption with that. So very often there'll be theme days, Feel Good Fridays, events that happen for national celebrations or cultural acknowledgements that break the routine and bring variety to the curriculum. It's really important sometimes to do wild and wonderful things in school, which is happening all the time. And as a head teacher, I'm very lucky I get to see that happening every day. And sometimes it really does, the learning that I observe makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, watching children grapple with something difficult and then with scaffold and support achieving an objective, a goal or an aim. It's very, very exciting to see that, and that's what learning is all about. So we're just coming down the stairs. By the way, we're going to go to the music department now. On the side of the stairs you will see some posters, some presentations of musicals that we've done over the years. Years 5 and 6 can audition for those parts, but everybody in Key Stage 2 can be involved. Guys and Dolls, Pok Fu Lam presented Madagascar. We've had Fiddler on the Roof, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. We even made Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in detail. It could do everything but fly. Coming down to where we began the tour, we're going to go to the music room. We have 2 music rooms. This is the upper music room, and this is a marimba session. We'd love to hear that again.
Right, very good.
This is Mr. O'Donnell. He's part of a team of 2 in terms of music teachers. Students really engaged in terms of music. We have peripatetic teachers that work after school for students to be able to do wind, brass, string, piano, percussion, and this is a session of marimba. All the students have opportunities to play recorder, ukulele, and marimba. So as we come to the end of the tour, I bring you back to those I talked about, the really important that children have an opportunity to make the best of every day they have in school. And I am very fortunate to be surrounded by some of the top tier teaching staff who are committed, who are driven, who are absolute experts in their field, as well as wonderful students who come to Kellett who are engaged, enthusiastic and excited about learning. And it's a wonderful combination when you have passionate teachers, really enthusiastic students, and parents